Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so here we go, Friday again, back with Ask Snes. So hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope you're all having a good time. Right, okay, so we've got a few questions to get through, so good start. Couple of questions to finish off from last week, which were posted after I'd already made the video. So we'll start with those, and they're from Sniper. So thanks for the questions, mate. First question is, what current gen games are you most excited about? At the moment, the big one for me is Quantum Break on Xbox One. I love Remedy. Alan Wake and the original two Max Payne games were fantastic. Alan Wake in particular, I really love that game. After seeing the demo at Gamescom, it's so impressive. I haven't been able to find any footage, if there is any footage, of the full demo, because apparently after they did the press conference they were showing a bigger demo. So I don't know if that was behind closed doors or not. That would be cool to see, but from what I saw, it looked brilliant. I mean, the graphics are absolutely beautiful. I love the time manipulation. Cover shooters are something I really enjoy. They're essentially like the new first-person shooter. They're taking over, aren't they? Because first-person shooters been done to death, and now cover shooters are going to get done to death. But I like them, so you know, like FPS, they might be getting milked, but I still enjoy playing them. You know, I might complain and say, "Oh God, not another one," but another one comes out and it always excites me. But yeah, Quantum Break's definitely a big one. Sunset Overdrive, I'm cautious on. It looks really fun. I just don't know. I'll wait and see. I will buy it at some point when I get an Xbox One again, because I do want to play it. But it's not wowing me. It just looks really nice. The big plus is that it's really bright and colourful and fun, which is something that gaming needs, because we did go for a period of really dark looking, depressing games, so that's nice. Other than that, what else is coming out at the moment? I haven't really looked into what's coming out the rest of the year. Obviously, I mean, there's a long way off yet. Rise of the Tomb Raider, another massive game for me. It's all Xbox One, which is a bit weird. PlayStation wise, Until Dawn. I love the look of that game. That looks like a really cool one. Still on the fence about a new Silent Hill. I really want to play it, but after playing the PT trailer, I'm really not sure I can. I know it's going to be a great game, but if it's anywhere near as terrifying as that demo, I won't be any good at playing that. It would scare the shit out of me. But yeah, that's definitely one to look for. What else is there at the moment? There's so many games. Oh yeah, the Vanishing of Ethan Carter as well. That looked really interesting. I wouldn't mind checking that one out when that comes out. Other than that, I think that's about it at the moment. There's so many games that are being announced and that are coming out this year, next year, especially next year. I mean, next year, obviously got a new Star Fox coming out on the Wii U, so that's another system I need to buy at some point. I am holding off buying a Wii U because when I do have the money to buy one, I was going to just get the Mario Kart pack, but I'm going to wait until Star Fox is out. So you're looking at about another year, year and a half probably. But I don't care, because I know they're going to do a Star Fox pack, and if that game is as good as I hope it will be, then I'll definitely get the Star Fox pack, because that'll be the best one to get. So yeah, so obviously you've got Star Fox, you've got Yoshi's Woolly World coming out, Toad Treasure Tracker, I want to play that as well. That looks brilliant. At the moment, Mario Kart 8, Mario 3D World, I haven't played those. I mean, there's loads of games that I want to play. Yeah, at the moment it's really good actually. There's a lot of games out I want to play and I can't, because I can't afford the system, but I will eventually. And then in the future there's absolutely amazing games coming out as well, so it's really good. But yeah, I'd say at the moment Quantum Break is my top game. I'm really excited to that. I really want to play that a lot. Yeah, so there you go. I would love, ideally, to see Uncharted remastered 1, 2 and 3. Alan Wake remastered. I would love to see Call of Duty 2 remastered. I mean, the Call of Duty franchise is so massive, there's no reason why they couldn't. I just don't think they will, but I would absolutely kill for that. I'd love to see a remaster of that one. Anyway, right, so question number 2. Have you ever played Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot or Oddworld on the PlayStation 1? If so, what are your thoughts on them? For me, as they're some of my favourite games. Yeah, I've played all 3 of those. The Oddworld games I've never really got along with. I don't know what it is, I just couldn't get into them. They're really fun, but I used to just enjoy pressing the buttons and making him make noises. I was never really, you know, an ape like farts and like shouts out weird shit. I'm never really into the actual game itself, but it was alright. Spyro and Crash, I love those games to bits. I remember when Spyro first came out, when I got that, I was just so impressed with that game. It's such a beautiful platformer. I don't know if I ever played 2 and 3, I can't remember, but I definitely played a lot of the first one. I love that. Crash is fantastic. The original trilogy on PS1, so brilliant. And they just got progressively better over each game, and number 3 for me personally, Warped. Best one of the 3. I love that game. The graphics on that game are fantastic. And the Crash Bandicoot games hold up really well. I haven't played Spyro for since it came out back in the day, so Eventually, when I start buying PS1 games again, I'm going to get that, and I'll probably get 2 and 3 as well. But I got Crash Bandicoot, the first one, a few months back, and it is brilliant. To me personally, it really holds up well. It shows Naughty Dog's ability to make great games. It controls really well. The graphics look really good. Considering I don't know if it's actually 3D or if it's 2.5D. I'm no good at all that technical stuff, I don't know. But it looks really good. Plays really well. It's still extremely challenging. I mean, some of the levels as you get further into it are so hard. I mean, you have to really be on point with your jumps and getting them absolutely bang on. But yeah, I love Crash Bandicoot. I don't like anything that was on the PS2 though. All those Crash Bandicoots that Naughty Dog didn't make are generally crap in my opinion. I don't like them. So Naughty Dog crashes all the way, and Crash Team Racing as well. Brilliant game. So yeah, I'm a big fan. And the last question is, what's the first game that comes to mind when I say what's the worst game you've ever played? I don't know. I can't. It's tough for me because there are not many games that are really that bad that I think they're absolutely diabolical. Because I can usually see the good in the bad games, and so I mean a lot of games frustrate the hell out of me. Like a lot of modern games, they just I don't know if it's just the way they're made or my brain doesn't want to work that way. Or like playing Watch Dogs at the moment, I just want to scream playing that game. It's so anger inducing. It's unbelievable. I'm really trying to love that game a lot. I really am. But I'm just finding it difficult. Every time I do a mission, I end up doing it like 5 or 6 times before I get it right, and it just irritates me. More so because typical sandbox game, you've got to listen to the same bloody dialogue over and over again, or you've got to watch the same cutscene over and over again because you can't skip it, which is very annoying, and it just grates and makes you angry and pisses you off. And the game mechanics are pretty shit, and the cars don't drive properly. They're like driving a slab of concrete. They're absolutely awful. So at the moment it's going to be Watch Dogs because it's really pissing me off, which is a shame because when it works and you have like really cool gun battles, it's a lot of fun. The guns are really good, the gunfights are excellent, but yeah, other than that it's just one hell of a frustrating game. It just makes me want to hold the pad at the wall. It's not a good experience. Other than that, Jesus Christ, it's really hard days. Bloody sirens. I think that's probably paramedics. It usually is. Yeah, I'll just go with Watch Dogs because at the moment I can't really think that's currently the game that's really pissing me off severely. So thank you very much for the question, Sniper. Cheers, mate. Right, on to this week's questions, guys. So I'll just cue the video up. Won't be a second. If my tablet actually responds because it is so bleeding slow at the moment. Okay, just getting it now. Sorry about this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first question is from somebody new, and it is Guy in a Hat Games. So thank you very much, mate. It says, first, you're awesome, thank you. And thanks for putting out great videos, no worries. Sorry if I'm incorrect with the details, but I remember you sold a large portion of your collection because you felt your collection was owning you, rather than owning your collection. Yeah, that's right. I'm in a similar position where I own about 1,000 games, which I want to reduce to 300 to 400. Quality over quantity, definitely the right way to go. But I'm having a hard time learning to just let them go and struggling to part with them. I know it's in my head, and I need to just let it go. But can you offer any advice and share some of your experiences and struggles of letting your games go? Thanks for your time and keep up the great work. Cheers, mate. Yeah, well, I mean, me personally, a lot of it, in a good way, was financial. Because of the last, 2 years, my finances have dipped severely. So it's a case of I've had to sell stuff in order to just keep my head above water. So that helped quite a lot, actually, because other than that, I found it quite difficult to part with things. I always have done, which is why when I sold systems, I would inevitably end up buying them back because I'd regret the sale. It is difficult, but I do find that it depends on how attached you are to that particular system and games as well. For me, the Super Nintendo has never been something I wanted to sell. Recently, I'll be honest, there has been a moment in my head where I thought, you know what, F this, I'm going to sell everything and just give up on collecting and just forget the retro stuff, because I was just not in a good place, and I just thought, you know what, all that is just money. That's all it is. All I could see was pound signs. Luckily, I didn't do that, because a good few people on Twitter and YouTube, good friends of mine, you know, talked some sense into me and said, don't be so bloody stupid, and they're absolutely right. And that's the only time I've ever considered selling that collection, because quite frankly that system means far too much to me, both nostalgically, and I just love the Super Nintendo. It's the best system ever made in my opinion, and the games are fantastic, the library's fantastic. Other systems I could do without. I've come to that realisation that you don't have to own them. I've always had that thing in my head. I'm very OCD anyway, and I feel like I've always had that, you know, I need to own the Dreamcast, for example, because I love Crazy Taxi and I like Confidential Mission, and there are a few other games that I really enjoy on that system, so it's worth owning it just for that handful of games. And then I might think, well, you know, I also like the Mega Drive, so I'll have a few games on that, and I really like the Master System. There's a couple of games I wouldn't mind on that one. And then, you know what, the Nintendo as well. Well, there's a few games that I wouldn't mind owning, like Mighty Final Fight. And then, for a lot of people, that's fine. They're quite happy to just buy one console and buy like, say, 10 games that they absolutely love, quality over quantity, and keep it at that, and have like 25 systems, and then only have like one or two where they actually actively collect and have hundreds of games for it. And that's fine. If you're okay with that, that's great. Me personally, I just felt like it was consuming me, and it was just taking over my life, and all I was doing is looking at eBay every day and just spending money which I shouldn't have been spending on games and consoles, when in fact there were more important things in life that needed to be spent on, and I didn't have that proper balance. You know, like they all say about the work-life balance, I didn't have the collecting life balance, and so I was just throwing money at things and buying games. And because I've said it before, because I was always checking eBay every single day, multiple times a day, it was almost like I was willing myself unconsciously to force myself to buy when I didn't need to. And I was just like, oh, that looks like a good deal, I'll have that. Now, and I realised that obviously if I don't look, I'm not going to be in that position where I think, oh yeah, I'm going to drop some money on that. And I found that the less I've looked at eBay, the less I've even thought about picking up games, which is really good. So it has been quite tough. And it seems a little ridiculous, and it is a first world problem to say, oh, I've got this issue, because it's just silly really. I mean, they're just video games, that's all they are. I know they mean a lot to us sentimentally and nostalgically, but they're just video games, they're just objects. They don't mean anything. You know, at the end of the day, the most important thing in life is your family and your friends, and your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, your children, the important things, you know. Not playing games and, you know, collecting and stuff. If you know, you need to get to that position where you've got your life sorted, you've got all the stuff away from gaming all correct, and you know your finances are good, your home life's good, you're not neglecting anybody, and then you can also have the collecting on the side as well and enjoy that. And it's just a balance. It's getting the balance right, it's getting the finances right, and most importantly of all, getting the focus right. Just looking at your collection and going, right, what do I actually really truly want to own and collect for, and more importantly play? What am I going to enjoy? There's no point having like 25, 30 systems just because you can. I found that out myself, and it doesn't work. It will just feel like it's consuming you, and you just, you know, just spending your money and wasting it. And that's not a good thing. You don't want to be in that position. I've wasted so much money over the last 10 years, you wouldn't believe how much cash I've wasted. And I feel really bad for that. You know, it's just stupid. I had a lot of fun doing it, I'm not going to lie. I had a great time. Back in 2003, 2004 when I started this, I was buying every system under the sun, like pretty much every new collector I've ever seen on YouTube does. They just go out and just go, right, I want that. Because we never had them as kids. We, you know, as kids, we were all working class for the most part, as far as I'm aware. And, you know, our parents couldn't afford to buy all these systems. So you get like one system and that's it. And, you know, you have to make the most of that one system. And then when the new systems come out in the future, eventually you might get one of the new ones. Or, you know, you have to get a paper round or something and save up and pay it for it yourself, like I did with my Super Nintendo. So as an adult, you know, in your like 20s, 30s, you're earning good money, decent money, and you've got a lot of spare cash flowing around, and these consoles aren't particularly that expensive. I mean, you know, nowadays it's a little bit different, the prices are getting silly, but back in the early 2000s, you could get Neo Geos and that for fairly good prices. And, you know, I own pretty much every single system now. All the systems I've ever wanted to own, I've owned. And I'm really happy that I've tried them out, and I know exactly, because I've done that, I actually know what I like, what I don't like. When in reality what I should have done was just stick to what I started with. I started with the Japanese Super Nintendo and the Japanese Mega Drive. Now, I should have just stayed there, Super Nintendo and Mega Drive. I would have probably changed from Japanese Super Nintendo to American Super Nintendo eventually anyway, because that's just the way I am. But I should have just stuck with Super Nintendo Mega Drive, which is where I am now. And I'm glad I'm at that position and I haven't just wavered. I have got the PlayStation 1, because it is a fantastic system with a fantastic library. And American PlayStation 1 games are dirt cheap. They're a few dollars a pop. There are some that are expensive, but for the most part, they're really cheap. So when I'm in the mood, I can just pick up PS1 games and not treat it as a collection. Just buy games I want to play. I mean, games that I really enjoyed back in the day. The only collecting is going to be the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo. And so, yeah, ultimately, it is difficult to not let it consume you. But I think if you're even considering the fact that you've got too much and too many games, too many systems, and you feel like you've lost a little bit of control, it is time to take a serious look and to really think about what you actually want. And just, walk around your game room or wherever you've got your stuff stored and go through it and say, what really means something to me? What system is the one that... That's the first thing. Get the one system that really means the most to you, whether it be nostalgia or you just really enjoy playing on that system and you find that you buy the most games for that system. Obviously keep that one. All the other stuff can go. And if there's like maybe one or two more systems that you enjoy, keep those as well. But just get rid of everything that's filler. And then all you can do is to spend all your money on the stuff that you actually want to play on the system that you enjoy, which is my aim now. I'm going to get the Mega Drive games. There's only about 50 or so I want. I've got a few, about 5 or 6 so far. I'll slowly pick them up. A couple of them are extremely expensive, so I don't know, that could take a long time to get those, but I'll get them eventually. And then, besides that, all the money goes into that. Just boost my SNES collection and just get the games I want. I mean, I've got about 5 or 6 Super Nintendo games that when I'm back on track, whenever that may be, and I've got money coming in and I've got spare cash, I'm going to save up and save up and save up and knock those games off the list because they're getting really expensive. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's a long-winded answer, mate. But ultimately, what I would say, the ideal thing to do is just look at everything you've got and make that decision. Just be harsh. Just trust me, you'll feel so much better about it afterwards. Just go, right, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, but that's the one I really want. Just keep that. So I hope that helps. Right, next question from Chill Video Game Dude. Right, favourite 3 games of all time? Street Fighter 2, definitely. I mean, that has to be there. Street Fighter 2 is just an absolute classic. The Uncharted franchise, I'm sort of cheating because all of those games are great. Number 3 is my least favourite, but if I'm going to pick one, it'd be Uncharted 2 because it's just an absolutely masterpiece game. It's fantastic. And what would be the other one? It's so hard to only pick 3 games out of, considering the amount of time I've been gaming and all the systems that I've had. So Street Fighter 2, Uncharted 2, and there's a few actually I'm popping in my head and I'm just debating whether or not. That's really hard. Probably Super Mario Kart, the original one, because I really love that game. It's so playable, and even today it still looks and plays well. It's just a really, really fun game, especially on multiplayer. Honourable mentions would be things like IK Plus, International Karate Plus. I absolutely love that game. Hunchback, back on the Commodore 64 days, great game. Yeah, 2 fantastic games. Akari Warriors on the Amiga, fantastic title. I love that game. And the Last Ninja series as well, Monkey Island series. I mean, there's so many great games. But yeah, I'll go with those 3 anyway. So thank you very much. Okay. Next questions are from Scribble Sam Animation. Hello, Sam. The next question is, what are your thoughts on MTV now compared to MTV years ago? Be honest with you, mate, I haven't watched MTV in years. I've caught bits of it when when I had Sky and everything, and I flicked through the channels, and it was terrible. It just seemed to me to be all reality shows, and it was just lost its way. When I used to watch MTV, I used to watch MTV Soul with was it Sonia Soul? No, it wasn't. Was it? No, it was. She was on Bad Influence. What's her name? Oh, Jesus Christ! There was Trevor Nelson, who did the Soul program later on in the years. Before that, there was a guy who I don't know who he was, and there's Lisa Anson. That's it. She used to do MTV Soul back in the day. I've got loads of VHS tapes with it on. I absolutely love that. And also they used to have like Headbangers Ball, your MTV Raps. They had Ray Cokes when he used to be on MTV back in the day. That was a long time ago. To me, that was absolutely brilliant. MTV back then was fantastic because it was all about the music and the way it should be. Whereas from what I've seen recently, it just seems to be like your Geordie Shore type programs and My Sweet 16 or whatever the hell it's called, that one of them bratty little bastards with the parties. It's just utter trash. It's just like most modern TV, it's just reality shit. So yeah, it's nowhere near like it used to be. MTV used to be really good. It's a shame. Ray Cokes, man, remember him? God, that's going way back. I can't remember that. He used to have his own show. He used to be in like a little basement thing. Yeah, that was cool. Anyway, do you like Beavis and Butthead? I do indeed. Who doesn't? They're really funny. Used to watch that all the time when I was growing up. So quality stuff. And what are your top five favourite classic music videos? Any music, rock, rap, pop, anything. Oh my God, Thriller. You gotta have Thriller. I mean, you know, you can't not have Thriller. So that's one, definitely. Like a Prayer, Madonna. That's a brilliant video. I thought that was fantastically done. Oh, what's it called? Dire Straits, Money or Nothing. I mean, that's what it's called. Another brilliant video. So that's 3 videos. Need 2 more. Oh, that's really tough, mate. I've got 3 anyway. What else is there? I'm just trying to. I've got so many. I've got like literally like a stack of VHS where I used to just record music videos constantly back in the day. Probably like something like 2 Unlimited, like Tribal Dance. That was a really cool video. I like that video. My phone's going crazy. I don't know what's going on there. It must be Twitter. So that'd be number 4. And number 5. Now you got me. Man, that's really hard, you know. I mean, like the Thriller, Dire Straits, they're pretty obvious. You know, Like a Prayer is brilliant, classic video. Bloody hell, mate! You've got to be stumped there. Anything like that. In fact, yeah, Billie Jean. I mean, what am I thinking? That's a fantastic video. The whole floor lighting up and everything, and Michael looking like a badass. Yeah, I'll go with that one. So yeah, that's a really good question that was, mate. That's brilliant. I like that. Okay, next question from El Capitan. Sorry, do apologise. El Capitan 968. What bike do you have, and could you show it? Right, I don't know anything about the actual technical side, mate, but it is an Apollo. Oh shit, I've forgotten. I went outside and looked at it and I've forgotten the name of it. It's an Apollo anyway, so what I'll do is I'll try and shove a picture in here so you can see what it is. But it's nothing special, it's just a mountain bike. Okay, next questions are from Muzz247365, regular question asker, so cheers mate. Question number 1. Did you say that you sold your NES collection? Yeah, I did indeed. I sold my RGB NES and the collection as well. Purely financial, and I just needed the cash, so I could get good money for that, so I thought, why not? It's a shame because it's fantastic, I love it, but at the end of the day, truly, when I think about my heart, is with 16-bit, not 8-bit. Next question, any plans for a new room tour now that you've finished decorating? I assume you're finished. I'm actually not finished yet, mate. Everything you can see behind me is like the camera view, so you've got the bookshelves back up, I've decorated the room. Everything there is going to be a long time coming. I haven't got the money at the moment. I need to get a unit for the TVs to put on. I've got to then plug everything in. I've got to decorate the walls with posters and things and shelving and all that stuff. Still got a bit of painting that needs doing over there. So yeah, but yeah, eventually it's gonna be months. Let's put it that way. It ain't gonna be any time soon. But once I've done it, yes, definitely I'll put a new room tour up. Because I'm looking forward to that, because I want to try and make it a proper game room this time. Put some real thought into it. Next question. What was your main highlight from Gamescom? The Quantum Break demo, definitely. There were some fantastic things announced and shown at Gamescom. Some really, really cool stuff. But the Quantum Break demo was the thing I was waiting for anyway. And when I saw it, I was just like, wow. I mean, the original E3 stuff from years back, that looked great. Now seeing the latest gameplay, so cool. So yeah, I'm very excited for that one. And of course the white Xbox One. I mean, yeah, it looks beautiful. So I definitely want to own one of those eventually. Next question: Lara Croft, Samus Aran, Jill Valentine, Snog, marry or avoid? I can't. That's a great show, that is, by the way. It always makes me laugh watching that one. I'd avoid Jill Valentine because you end up getting killed by a zombie or something because she's just constantly surrounded by death, so that's not a good thing. Either one really, because none of them are in particularly safe positions, all in dangerous situations. Probably Snog Samus and marry Lara, especially the new Lara Croft from the 2013 game because she's pretty hot. So yeah, we'll go with that. Oh my god. Right, okay. Right, next set of questions from my good mate Alex, BlueTonic78. Hasn't asked a question in a while, so he's come back with 4 questions. I dread to film what they are because I know what Alex is like, but here we go. Okay, question number 1. I know you aren't a massive football fan, but have you ever been to a game, and if so, what did you think of the experience? I haven't. I would actually like to try it and see what it's like, because as I say, watching it on TV, I'm sort of getting... In the World Cup anyway, I really got into it a lot. I thought it was fantastic. So it would be really cool. Just, you know, one of those things on your bucket list really, just to try it out and see what it's like, because I bet the atmosphere is amazing. So yeah, maybe one day, Alex, you never know. Question number 2. Conspiracy theories. Are there any out there which you tend to believe are a little too suspicious to ignore? Not really. Most of them can be quite easily disproved, I find. But it's quite easy to get sucked into conspiracy theories and to believe it. And like most things, all they're doing, the people that run the conspiracy theories, like the big wigs, like Alex Jones, they're just creating a narrative. They're cherry picking the facts, taking things out of context and making them fit their narrative. That's all they're doing, like anything. You know, there are plenty of examples of that throughout the world. Yeah. I don't think any of them are too suspicious to ignore. I mean, it depends on what you look at, because I mean, you got UFOs, Roswell, the whole alien situation. You got Kennedy, you got 9/11. There's loads. To be honest, I think people make conspiracies about everything. People make conspiracies about the Jews running the world, which is just ridiculous. I don't know where they get that one from at all. It cracks me up. That there's paranoia, the all-seeing eye, and the Illuminati, and all that other bullshit. It's just absolute paranoia, is all it is. Yeah, I know how easy it is to get suckered in. I've got suckered in. I did for a long time. You know, you start going down that rabbit hole, watching documentaries, reading articles, checking the web. You can easily get brainwashed and sucked into it all and lose complete sight of reality. And trust me, this is coming from someone who's been there. Yeah, I mean, like the UFO thing is fascinating to me, because a lot of that can be disproved quite easily. A lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense and is unexplainable. And I've always said that I believe there's possibly life out there, because it makes logical sense that there is. It doesn't make any logical sense that we're the only planet with advanced life forms like humans. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are other ones like the mind control experiments like MK Ultra, which was a real thing that they actually did. So it's not really a conspiracy, but the conspiracy part of it is that the Catcher in the Rye has keywords that set people off, so they will put them on a mission. For example, like Mark David Chapman, who killed John Lennon. Allegedly, he was found sitting on the curb with a copy of Catcher in the Rye. And there have been other examples like Sirhan Sirhan, who shot Robert Kennedy, who apparently also had a copy of the book. And they claim that was how MK Ultra was done, because the typical, it's what they call a Manchurian candidate. If you've ever seen the film with Liev Schreiber and Denzel Washington, you'll know about this. They basically can phone you up, say a sentence or a paragraph, or give you a keyword, and it will set your mind off. And you already have this mission inside your mind that they've planted for you to go and assassinate someone, for example. You automatically are taken over by the thought process. You do the assassination, and then you're like that, you're back to normal. You've got no memory of what happened. So that's why you're the perfect soldier, basically. And as I say, they reckon that books do it as well, and they have key phrases in the Catcher in the Rye. That is completely plausible, because they were working on mind control. The Germans were working on it as well. And obviously a lot of the German scientists were taken by the Americans and the British after the war. So totally plausible, all that stuff. I think that's probably the only one that I would probably give credence to. Anyway, let's lighten the mood. Question number 3. We've often talked about the bloke on eBay who charges outrageous buy it now prices for Amiga and ST games. If you don't know who that is, Danger Mouse's best friend. Let's put it that way. I find the problem with this is that it usually leads to a domino effect where other sellers start offering their copies for an equally extortionate and unrealistic price, and before you know it, you have games that would sell for 10 quid one minute suddenly start appearing for a minimum of 25 the next. As an eBayer who prefers to buy it now prices, what are your feelings on this? Yeah, it is a pain in the arse. Somebody like that in particular, there's only really him and one other seller that have a monopoly on Amiga games and ST games. Him in particular has a major monopoly. I don't know where he gets his stock from. He just seems to have every Amiga game under the sun, and he can charge what he wants because there is not that much competition out there, and so he does tend to jack his prices up quite a lot. And it is a frustrating part of collecting that, you know, a lot of buy now sellers are doing this. But at the end of the day, you just have to accept it, unfortunately. There's nothing you can really do about it because these games are like 20, 25 years old. You know, so what are you going to do? The only option you have is to either just lay out the cash and buy it, or just do what I do and just be very patient and wait and wait and wait until some random seller lists the game for a really cheap price. It doesn't always happen, and it can take a long time. For example, I recently picked up an Amiga game. I'm not collecting for the Amiga, it's just the odd game I like to get. And as Alex knows what it is, I'll just show you what it... Bloody tablet's going mentally, I'll just get it 1 second. The game I recently picked up was this one, a big box version of Turrican. Now, this game is one I've wanted for a long time. I love the Turrican series. But every time I've looked on eBay, people have wanted buy nows of around 50 quid. And I'm not willing to pay that for an Amiga game because I'm not an Amiga collector, so for me it's not worth 50 quid. That one just happened to pop up when I did a search, and it was $22.99 free delivery. And I thought, you know what, I really can't pass on that at all. So if you are patient, you do get good deals. But yeah, people like that person in particular are just, you know, I can't, even if he's watching this video, you know, I'm not having a go because at the end of the day, mate, you've got your business to run, and you're just taking advantage of the situation. I totally understand that. And, you know, people bang on about people jacking the price up, and it is annoying as hell when you're a collector. But at the end of the day, if you're selling stuff, you want to get as much money as you can for it. And so they are going to slightly overcharge sometimes. He's not that bad like some Super Nintendo sellers who will charge 3 or 4 times the price of a game, which it clearly is not worth at all. And you can check the sold listings and see that he's completely overpriced. But you know, if it's like 10 quid over or 15 quid over, it is irritating, but you either just accept it and buy it or you wait. So yeah. Last question is, when are you buying an Amiga again? I know deep down you want to. Well, let's put it this way, Alex. I mean, I've just bought that, so I think it's pretty much going to happen in the future. I will get a 500 again. I've been debating whether to get a 600. 1200 is not really my thing. I've got no attachment to the 1200. I've got no attachment to the 600, but the 600 is small and compact. Why do I say that? It's just compact. Small and compact is just two for the same. Yeah, so it is for a space saver. It's great. It's a really nice looking machine. But for me, the 500 is my computer. The Amiga is an extremely nostalgic computer for me. Nostalgic gaming system, full stop. You know, I love the big boxes. The big box games look fantastic. I've got a lot of great memories playing lots of fantastic Amiga games. So yeah, I'm not going to deny it. In the future, I'll be picking up an Amiga 500 again for like the 3rd time. But it's got to be done just to play Turrican alone. I got Last Ninja 3 as well, which I bought like last year or something on a whim. Don't know why I picked that one up actually, but I did. I love the Last Ninja series, but 1 and 2 are better. As far as I can remember, I might be wrong there, but from what I remember, 1 and 2, number 2 in particular, I remember it was New York City, and I love that game. So yeah, I will be getting an Amiga, obviously, and it fits in my 16-bit collecting as well, so it's acceptable. So thanks, Alex, and thank you to everyone who asked me a question. I really appreciate it, guys. If you do have a question for me, just put it in the comments down below. I'll answer the questions next Friday, as I always do. And if you like this video, just please give it a thumbs up. It really helps. And if you're new to my channel and you want to see more videos, just click on subscribe. That'll keep you up to date with all my latest videos. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all again soon.